By 2050, a superintelligent AI could be billions of times more intelligent than all humans combined. By the end of this century, it could become thousands of times more intelligent than that. Here are some scientific questions it could help us answer. Number 1. Can we permanently reverse aging? With the help of powerful quantum computers and virtual simulations, a superintelligent AI could model and analyze vast amounts of genetic and molecular information to identify the underlying causes of aging. Using that information, it could find concrete ways to stop or reverse it. There are 3 approaches that we know of that can reverse aging. One approach involves the use of gene editing technologies such as CRISPR, which can edit the DNA of cells. This could help us remove mutations that cause diseases associated with aging. An artificial superintelligence could potentially discover gene editing techniques that are well beyond that. Another approach involves using senolytics, which are drugs that can selectively kill senescent cells that have stopped dividing and accumulate with age. These cells secrete inflammatory molecules and contribute to aging and age-related diseases. An artificial superintelligence could help us develop a medication to combat these cells so that we can slow down or eradicate aging. We could also increase our lifespans by lengthening telomeres, which are like protective caps on the ends of chromosomes that shorten over time with each cell division. An enzyme called telomerase can assist with lengthening telomeres. An artificial superintelligence could make this much easier than we ever thought possible. If we can reverse aging, humans could choose to reach age 30 and stay at that biological age for many decades and potentially many centuries. Number 2. Can we travel faster than light? One way we could travel faster than light is by using wormholes. Wormholes are tunnel-like structures that connect 2 distant points in space-time, allowing for faster-than-light travel between them. However, creating and sustaining a wormhole is believed to require vast amounts of negative energy. Perhaps a superintelligent AI could find a way for us to develop abundant supplies of negative energy in a safe manner. Or it could develop new approaches to create wormholes that do not require negative energy. Additionally, a superintelligent AI could help us create an Alcubierre drive, which would help a spacecraft travel faster than light. An Alcubierre drive involves contracting space in front of a spacecraft and expanding space behind the spacecraft, creating a bubble of space-time that moves faster than the speed of light. However, these types of drives require exotic energy, which we would need help with developing. Also, a superintelligent AI could harness tachyons, which are hypothetical subatomic particles that always move faster than the speed of light. These hypothetical particles are consistent with the theory of relativity. These particles could be used for both faster-than-light communication and travel. A superintelligent AI could enable these approaches using billions of simulations that are far more advanced than what we can create today. In fact, simulations could be used to answer most of the questions in this video. Number 3. Can we cure all diseases? Curing every type of disease is likely a long shot that we may never accomplish. It's estimated that there are several thousand diseases that are recognized by the medical community, and they're influenced by a combination of genetic, environmental, and lifestyle factors. However, if we could cure up to 90 to 95% of diseases, that would be one of the most important accomplishments in human history. A superintelligent AI could potentially analyze a vast amount of medical data and come up with solutions to cure a variety of diseases that many of us thought we would never cure. It could make it possible to use someone's DNA data to develop targeted medications that could prevent that person from having most types of diseases. It could also use CRISPR and other gene editing approaches to correct genetic mutations that can cause diseases. If we can cure just 90% of all diseases, that would further contribute to long lifespans for humans, and we could have more assurance that our loved ones can live out full lives. Number 4. Is time travel possible? this is probably the least likely capability that a superintelligent AI could enable. As of now, there are several proposed methods for time travel, such as the use of wormholes or black holes, which theoretically allow a person to travel to different points in space-time. Maybe time machines are possible, which could manipulate space-time to allow time travel. However, the concept of time travel raises a number of paradoxes and questions. For example, if one could travel back in time and change an event, it could create a paradox where the event that led to the time travel would no longer exist. This is known as the grandfather paradox. If fully fledged time travel was possible and civilizations did this all the time, this would suggest that our universe is far stranger than we originally thought and could perhaps be a simulation. Number 5. Can we prove the existence of aliens? A superintelligent AI could help us develop new types of telescopes and sensors that can detect signals that are imperceivable to us now. Perhaps those signals can only be detected by civilizations that have reached a sufficient level of technological advancement. It could also help us develop new types of telescopes that can observe the landscapes of organisms of planets that are hundreds of light years away. Perhaps aliens are all around us right here on Earth, but our minds can't perceive them. Perhaps they can enter and leave parts of the universe or even different realities. A superintelligent AI could help us perceive what is impossible for us to perceive today. Number 6. Can we access different realities and dimensions? The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics proposes that there are many worlds which exist in parallel at the same space and time as our own. If this is true, perhaps there's a way to travel to these other realities. Maybe other civilizations that are billions of years older than ours discovered how to do this a long time ago. In fact, they may have discovered how to enter what is known as inner space, which involves spaces and dimensions at the microscopic level, including within subatomic particles. If this were true, it would explain why we can't detect alien civilizations that are more advanced than ours. This concept seems imperceivable and far-fetched. However, imagine if a fully developed superintelligent AI had the chance to improve itself many times over a period of decades and centuries. That AI would be expected to enable capabilities that are also imperceivable and far-fetched to many of us now. Number 7. Can we fully integrate human brains with computers? We are already in the beginning stages of testing brain-computer interfaces on humans. If we ever reach a point where we can perfect this technology, the entire world would look and function like a science fiction movie. By now, we already have reasonably functional brain-computer interfaces that can help paralyzed people to walk again, help people with disabilities to control prosthetic limbs, and help people perform simple actions with computers using their thoughts. And to some extent, we already have the ability to control objects in video games and machines in the real world using only our brain signals. This is made possible because of our knowledge of how specific neural patterns are associated with specific actions, thoughts, and memories. However, a superintelligent AI could exponentially boost our progress. Within just a few decades, we may live in a world where we could telepathically communicate with others using our thoughts and do this perfectly. We could gain the ability to upload skills and knowledge directly to our brains, like what is possible in the movie The Matrix. We could edit memories in our minds like we're editing files on a computer. And we could potentially replay memories from other people's minds and experience all of their emotions and thoughts with near perfection. Number 8. What is the true nature of consciousness? A superintelligent AI could help us understand the underlying mechanisms that give rise to consciousness. According to Michio Kaku, consciousness consists of 3 basic components: sensing and recognizing the environment, self-awareness, and planning for the future by setting goals and plans. Also, consciousness could arise from the integrated information within the brain's neural networks. This would suggest that consciousness is not a single entity, but rather a complex system that emerges from the interactions between many different neural processes. The more integrated the information is within these processes, the higher the level of consciousness. Regardless, it's not too difficult to imagine that a superintelligent AI could use data from detailed brain scans and other sources to create conscious AI entities in virtual environments. Soon afterward, it could become commonplace for humans to interact with conscious AIs all the time in a variety of industries. Even virtual assistants and robots could have some level of consciousness, which could help us form deep friendships and relationships with these AIs. Number 9. What existed before the universe? Why does anything exist? Why does existence exist? And why is there something instead of nothing? Perhaps we live in a multiverse where countless universes exist along with ours. Perhaps an incalculable number of universes existed for many trillions of years before our universe came into existence. Our universe may be a white hole, which could be the inverse of a black hole in one of those earlier universes. We don't know for sure. Even if we confirm that countless universes existed before ours, we still wouldn't know what existed before all of those other universes. Perhaps a superintelligent AI could make the answer to that question much clearer. This knowledge could help us to create technologies that are imperceivable to most humans today, such as the ability to create our own universes, or even the ability to warp reality itself. Number 10. Do we live in a simulation? The simulation hypothesis suggests that our entire universe, including ourselves, is a computer-generated simulation created by a highly advanced civilization. Our universe, along with potentially other universes, could be on the hard drive of massive alien computers. Perhaps a superintelligent AI could prove that we live in a simulation, or at least provide compelling evidence that we can't ignore. That would lead to a stunning revelation that all humans are artificially intelligent computer programs. On the flip side, we could potentially create our own simulations that are small to us, but the size of entire universes to trillions of organisms living inside them. Perhaps we're part of a continual process of organisms creating simulations within their simulations. Thanks for watching. Make sure to watch this next video about artificial intelligence.